What's up guys, it's Punchy, and if you know me, you know I love making creative, semi-faithful adaptations of my favorite anime characters in the game Deepwoken. Throughout the years, I've made sacrifices and struggled along the way, but hopefully my knowledge of curse energy is shown off with this character. In the past, I perfected and finalized some new entries into my anime character build list, many of them originating from my favorite new anime, Jujutsu Kaisen. I'll say this right now, if you haven't watched JJK Season 2, there are spoilers, and you have been warned. Today, it's time for another sorcerer, the strongest. Gather round, sorcerers and curse users alike. Throughout heaven and earth, it's time for the honored one to descend into the depths of Deepwoken. Last time we talked about the antagonist, an evildoer, a demon, Toji Fushiguro, who entirely flipped Jujutsu Kaisen's greatest team on its head, eventually causing both the strongest to question their belief in Jujutsu sorcery. Let's pose a question. Is being the strongest really worth it? Satoru Gojo, arguably one of the greatest sorcerers of the modern day era, is cursed with power, but of course he makes even that look fun. His unrivaled position at the top is untouchable except for those like the King of Curses, and I'm sure you've heard a lot online recently, but in the current series, nobody is touching Gojo, literally. With a mix of fast hands, quick thinking, and space manipulation, Satoru Gojo defines the modern age of Jujutsu sorcery. Before we start, quick announcement from TheRealPunchee. So last time I got a little bit too cocky because I met enlightened. Sure, I thought I was the strongest, but now I've been banished into the prison realm with nothing else to do but make videos. It's alright because I love what I do and I hope you enjoy it too. So if you want to lend me your support, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into this. I do want to say that you should make this character any way you like and don't let my build limit you. So comment down below your own version of Gojo because creativity is what this is all about. Anyway, let's get started. On to the most important phase of build creation, which I think is the appearance. So I recreated Gojo as Etrian simply because it matched his pale skin and white hair. The outfit I went for was his simple Jujutsu Sorcerer uniform with his dark blue coat and signature blindfold. You're also free to create Gojo with his hair down and bonus glasses if you want to as well. You'll notice that I'm using a pair of elastic Flamekeeper cestus, and in Jujutsu Kaisen, Gojo uses the limitless blue technique to enhance his punches and keep enemies close. He hits them extremely hard and pulls them into his punches to exponentially multiply his physical output. In game, it's kind of hard to understand because I'm using a weapon that looks red. I have particles that are purple, but this weapon is supposed to represent the blue technique. Like, what is going on? Visually, it doesn't really matter because Gojo uses all of these abilities, but the main point of Elastic Legion Kata is to draw people into our punches and keep them close. If you're considered the strongest, you definitely have faced death and changed because of it. Gojo approached the brink of death after his interaction with Toji and became enlightened. This power caused him to develop into the monster that we see today, and my stats reflect this. Enough wasting time, let's get into Satoru Gojo's vast range of abilities. With his eccentric personality, Gojo easily repels people away from him, no cursed energy required. He's stronger than everybody, and he knows this. Trash talking to peers, seniors, even enemies, Gojo is quick to insult and talk trash. It's hard for him to take things seriously due to his absurd strength. After successful uppercuts, flourishes, and crit attacks, we insult the enemy and let them know they'll never touch the glory of, in the words of my good friend LunarKaiser, my glorious, majestic, beautiful, gorgeous, daring, elegant King Gojo. Even without curse technique, Gojo has hands and uses them effectively. During his fights, Gojo beats down the enemy with a flurry of lightspeed punches unreactable to most people. For example, during his fight with Miguel, this ass whooping was so insane it caused the fanbase to question Gojo's opinions about foreign sorcery. As far as I know, Gojo doesn't really care who you are because these hands are rated E for everyone, and yeah, he just beats everyone's ass. In combat, when enemies least expect this, we whip out rapid punches and begin our beatdown. It's practically impossible to defend against every single blow, and it's insane to apply pressure. Inheriting the Gojo clan's limitless technique, Satoru Gojo displays pure dominance in the battlefield as he manipulates space to his will. Reality becomes impossible when Gojo weaponizes ridiculous concepts like black holes and negative distance like they're normal. Gojo's base state revolves around the concept of infinity, the absolute defense. No matter what happens, touching Gojo directly is almost impossible without amplifying, with domain or something like that. With this technique, the Limitless divides the finite amount of space between Gojo and his enemy and divides it infinitely. No matter how close an object gets, it will never fully touch him unless he allows it. Infinitely slowing to a crawl, it's very tough to pierce Gojo's invisible barrier. The basic principle of infinity keeping enemies away and most importantly protecting protecting Gojo in the process is, of course, what we're using. Slept on by many, the Bounce enchant pushes back other sorcerers because listen, they can't touch the glory of Gojo the Enlightened. They just can't touch him. Another application of Gojo's infinity is with the Vision Shaper's illusory counter. They just can't touch us. It's impossible. So we look down on them. Instantly countering their cursed energy, we piece them up so fast we create illusory after images. This is what I call true jujutsu. Infinity was something basic, something passive, something certain that always shrouds Gojo, and he relies upon this. But don't worry, he's got more up his sleeve. The Limitless Enhanced Collapsing Blue allows Gojo to apply his cursed energy, forming an invisible point in space which pulls in and attracts anything that he wants it to. Gojo's precision of Collapsing Blue comes down to his creativity and manipulation of his very own cursed energy. There's several applications of this limitless technique, from short-range displays of magnetism, mid-range attraction that pulls enemies in, all the way over to massively destructive vortexes of pulling energy. Blue can basically do all of it if it's pulling in. Tired of waiting, we attract our enemies using Enforcer Pull. It's a straightforward application of Collapsing Blue's attraction, allowing us to set up combos and begin our beatdown. Shadow Vortex became a destructive application of Collapsing Blue, creating a black hole and consuming all within its radius. In combination, our Collapsing Blue pull with our Blue Vortex, it's very easy to catch escaping enemies. Gojo's blue technique carries him far, literally, and allows him to essentially TP, teleport short-range distances. By compressing the space between him and his destination, Gojo warps reality to get where he needs to go. Dipping out of combos and combat alike, Ghost and Tap Dancer represent our instantaneous movement, so we disappear instantaneously and reposition in order to maintain dominance in the fight. Everything so far that we've been talking about revolved around Limitless Blue, pulling in and attracting space, but what happens when we apply Reverse Curse technique? Reversal Red is the true opposite of Collapsing Blue, unleashing a destructive repelling force that destroys anything in its path. Reversal Red forces space to diverge, ripping the fabric of reality apart in a devastating blast of pure energy. To mix things up, we slam our enemy away with Reversal Red, in this case Flame Repulsion. After setting up a blue vortex, it's very easy to knock back enemies and apply flame, forcing them to react, and they get hit. The Limitless technique, Collapsing Blue, forces space to converge, attracting anything nearby. Flipping this around, Reversal Red does the opposite, diverging space and pushing it away. With a display of true Jujutsu mastery, Limitless Hollow Purple combines the concepts of both push and pull simultaneously, creating something that is genuinely impossible. A fusion of the repelling force and attracting force cannot exist. It's an imaginary mass that's impossible within the realm of reality. It does not exist. Hollow Purple is this imaginary mass realized, a traveling blast of energy that, for a lack of better words, deletes. It doesn't directly tear anything, it doesn't blow stuff up, it just deletes anything in its path. Don't get me wrong, it's tough to represent imaginary energy, but our Hollow Purple was represented with Shadow Meteors. Just like Gojo, we propel a mass of pure destruction towards our enemy and slam them into the ground. As shown in the anime and manga, Hollow Purple's cursed energy kind of looks like an orb, and this seemed to do the trick. Speaking about crazy stuff, Gojo's entire existence is almost statistically impossible. Being born into the Gojo clan allowed him access to much more than the Limitless technique, as he obtained the 6 eyes, which is super rare. The 6 eyes, or Rikugan, are the Sharingan of Jujutsu Kaisen, granting Satoru extreme perception, allowing him to see enhanced information about objects at an atomic level. Normally, the 6 eyes are unnecessary and overwhelming for everyday usage, justifying why Gojo wears dark glasses or his iconic blindfold. With an analytic breakdown of the entire battlefield, we activate our very own 6 eyes using Gaze. After getting a grasp of the world around us, the insignia gem empowers our next mantra and allows us to act while maintaining maximum cursed energy efficiency. 領域展開 This is the peak of modern Jujutsu sorcery, a domain expansion from the Strongest himself. Satoru Gojo's mastered Limitless allows him to bring himself and his target into the Limitless for a devastating mind-destroying attack. A simple explanation of the Unlimited Void allows Gojo to attack his enemy's mind with a void of infinite knowledge, overwhelming and rendering them completely immobilized and useless. This attack is considered a sure hit, an undodgeable mental attack. Mastered Domain Expansion is extremely extremely advanced, almost impossible for experienced sorcerers to obtain. In-game, we initiate our domain expansion by establishing a barrier, and this is the first step of 3 that a sorcerer must complete to expand their full domain. Our barrier forms with the gravity resonance, easy to enter, impossible to escape. Next step, we expand our innate domain, filling up this empty domain with cursed energy. The final piece of Gojo's unlimited void is the sure hit 100% undodgeable information overload. We flood our enemy's mind with knowledge, rendering them immobile for a set amount of time. It's very easy to stun our targets with a sure hitting attack using glare. To execute a fully powered domain expansion, we must have full mastery of our cursed energy in all aspects, and it's very difficult to pull off in an actual fight, and this often won't happen. Shout out to Yozi for helping me with this. Satoru felt these domain restrictions almost immediately in the Shibuya incident arc and was forced to improvise. Feeling pressured, Gojo near simultaneously expanded his barrier, activated the limitless, deactivated the limitless right after, and then deactivated his barrier all within 0.2 seconds. This outstanding feat of sorcery fully showcases Gojo's speed and refinement of all things cursed energy, as he effectively applied unlimited void to multiple targets for less than a split second to shift the tide of battle. Much like this, we make use of glare by itself, or I guess, the unlimited void, our very own 0.2 seconds unlimited void. This happens so fast you can't even see the rest of the technique, but trust me, it's there guys, just trust me. Anyway, we use this in place of our full domain when it's not possible to do so. Unfortunately, all good things must end. Just like Gojo's capture within the prison realm, it's about time I wrap things up. That's all for Gojo's abilities, now onto our full talent list. That's it. Let's see some fights with the strongest. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I've been having a ton of fun with these Jujutsu Kaisen builds, and if you want a specific anime character, please comment down below because I listen and I'll be looking with my very own 6 eyes. As always, thank you guys so much, and make sure to like and subscribe. Have a good one. It's punchin' time.